Hey y'all, it's your boy B. Keydron Pryor.
And it's your beautiful girl, Brianna.
And you're
Kicking it with K and B. Hello everyone, we are so excited. Today is Mental Health Day. We have a very special guest, Ashley Dortch.
Hi.
Yes. Welcome. Ashley Dortch graduated with her master's degree of social work at Jackson State University. And she graduated in Memphis, Tennessee at LeMoyne-Owen College with her bachelor's of social work as well. So we are so excited to have her here. Just tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I am a native Memphian from South Memphis.
Okay, South Memphis.
And I absolutely love what I do. Like, I love being a therapist. I love helping people to solve problems and gain new perspective and teach empathy, which is something you don't think that you have to teach people.
Right.
But how often do we only see things through our lens? So it's important to see things from the sight of someone else. So
Yeah, for sure.
I love my job. Like, I can do this forever. I can do it for free, but I like getting paid for it. So
You gotta get paid. Yeah.
You gotta get paid. So we have a couple questions for you, just talking about mental health. First question, what's your best advice to people dealing with mental health?
This advice. There's so much. Okay. I'm gonna give what I've been saying lately to my clients, which is it's okay to be vulnerable. Because as soon as you ask for help and people know that you need extra support, it makes the most difficult situation more
so much
manageable.
better. Right.
So it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to open up even just a little bit. It could be as small as someone saying, "Hey, you good?" and then you just look and be like, that's being vulnerable. Like,
Right, exactly.
open the door for someone to approach you and be helpful or supportive or even just listen. Like, sometimes we just need people just to hear us out.
And it's, like I said, that's one thing about me. I don't really talk about my feelings. I don't talk at all. So I always keep them like bottled in, where people can say, "Oh, she's good," and I may seem like I'm okay because I'm always talkative, always bubbly, but inside I may be like hurting. But once I finally talk about it, I'm like, what took me so long? And I just feel so much better just by talking.
It's like a weight off your chest.
Right.
And you know what's so crazy is the fact that, like you said, that it's like I have a friend. I think I don't know. I guess she needed to talk to me or whatever. And I just told her to come over and everything. We had wine, and she just like let everything out, everything that she was going through. And she like literally texted me the next day, and she was like, "Keydron, I just thank you for listening because that's what I really needed." Like, some people just need somebody just to listen.
Right.
Like, because people don't have nobody to talk to. You would think they do, but they really don't.
And I'm like the listener. Like, everybody can tell me all their problems. I'm a listener. So I take all this information in, but I'm never the person who really just like lash it out, give it out. I'm always the person like, okay, let's sit and talk. What's going on? I'm always here for you, but I'm never the person to actually.
But you have to do it as well, too,
right.
though. Yeah, like, you have to do it as well.
That'll be heavy on your heart and your mind.
Right.
I had to start learning. I had to start opening up a little bit more because I'm very closed off and private. But I mean, I talk to my sister and everything. But like with people, some people, when like now that we're like doing this platform and I'm about to start speaking on like my life, some people gonna be like, "Well, I never knew you went through that," because people think I got it all together just because of the sushi wear and everything. And I'm like, no.
Because
like,
sometimes we
no.
pretend so much to put on the
Yes,
stage.
and
You
like
gotta put on a mask.
you do.
Always on the mask.
Because it's hard to say, well, what's going on, or like you feel like what's going on with you is a burden on someone else. But it's really not. But it's just hard to find or to trust a safe place.
For sure. Yes, it's hard to trust. That's one thing. In this generation right now, it's definitely hard to trust and tell people your story without it getting back to someone else.
Absolutely. Which is why therapy is so important. Because like, I like to describe it as you talking to your best friend, but we got boundaries, so I'm not gonna judge what you say, but I'm gonna hear you. And like, what's better than to spill your tea in a safe place? Because I'm not your mom or your family or your friends, so I have nothing from the past to hold against you. So like, why not? Like, why not?
Yeah.
So do you think it's better to talk to a random person as a therapist or a friend?
More like someone who you know is a therapist, but not a friend, because like technically that would be unethical. Like, I couldn't be your therapist because we went to school together, we're in the same sorority, like it's just too much closeness, you know, ethically. But definitely someone you feel like you can open up to. Like, and therapy is not a one-all be-all. Like, the one time you try it, that therapist may not be a good match for you. So, like, even though it doesn't work with that first person you reach out to, you still have to, like, continue to try because personalities have to mesh.
And that's true because hopefully it's okay to say, like, it's I think it's definitely, I just had a therapist as well this year, but it was over the phone because of COVID. And she was, you know, Caucasian. But I feel like I feel like there wasn't like a really good fit for me because first of all, she's Caucasian and I'm a black young man. And she couldn't imagine how I feel and what I've been through. So, and then like me opening up to her and telling her like, you know, like the absence of my father and my mother is just like, I think I just wasn't getting the responses that I needed, you know, because it wasn't in person first. Then it's someone who doesn't know about a background of my, you know, my experience. So it definitely matters with the preference, like for sure. Yeah,
because you want someone who's not gonna feel sorry for you, but who can empathize and try to see, you know, what you've been through. And also, everyone has a different therapist style. I tell my clients, as your therapist, I'm not your yes man. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, you're right. If you're wrong about something, you're wrong. I'm gonna say I'm gonna challenge that thought that you're having, and also I'm not gonna be like, tell me how you feel. Like, no, I'm gonna give some perspective and some feedback and ask questions to get people to think, because sometimes we are the problem, and then people feel like therapy is. Well, some people may feel like therapy is a safe place to come play victim. Like, therapy is empowering, like it's dirty, it's nasty, because we talk about some things that you just can't talk about, you know. But at the end, it's a beautiful place to be because it's a process and a journey.
And most people now would say, like me, I've had that same feeling with a lot of people. They just think therapists, like you said, okay, tell me how you feel. Okay, how can we work this out? Just keeping it on a minimum basis when really you can open up a lot of can of worms that are not really talked about.
Yes. I know my clients are getting comfortable. This is probably gonna sound bad on camera, but when they say something like, bruh, let me tell you. And I'm like, yes,
right,
tell me what happened.
Right.
Yes.
I can talk to my therapist.
Yes.
Right. Makes you feel more comfortable.
Yes, and I love them. I'm like, tell me what happened. Because if you don't, I gotta piece through and be the puzzle maker.
Well, you gotta pay, what's that game?
21
operations.
Like, oh, definitely. Definitely. So trying to piece together, because people like to leave out certain things when they don't want to seem like they're a certain way. But we're all human, like, we're not all perfect.
And see, with me, I definitely like, if I get a therapist now, after like from that therapist, I like to be completely honest. Because I feel like it's no point in getting a therapist and lie.
Because we don't know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, it's a me puzzles, like something, tell me something.
Like, I want to be honest, but it's like, I gotta trust you first. I may not trust you completely. I may tell you like certain things, I may leave some things out because I don't fully trust you. Then once I gain that trust, then I can tell you everything and then be fully comfortable with you.
And that's the thing, like, those first few sessions, you are not immediately spilling your guts. Like, you are getting to know each other, you're building rapport, just learning how each other communicates. Like, we're not talking about what happened way back when, first session. Which is a scary part for some people. Like, talking about their mom or whatever scary thing happened. We gonna ease into it.
Yeah, because it can be definitely emotional.
So what do y'all usually talk about, like the
first session? I'm getting to know you. Like, what do you like to do? What do you do for fun? I definitely always, I don't care what you're coming to therapy for, I want to know what your self-care is like, because sometimes they could be the root to things. Just like pouring out yourself and not giving back to yourself. I'm letting people know about me, like, because hey, if we don't match well, then you know this won't work out.
Yeah,
like,
true,
I'm gonna have to let you know next session, like, you know, maybe beneficial for you to, you know, seek another therapist that, you know, may fit your need, because I can't do everything. Like, I'm not superwoman at that capacity. I can't deal with every diagnosis that someone may have. So
Okay.
We're just talking about, building rapport. Yeah.
But that's good. Well, we have the next question. My next question is, are Black individuals more affected by mental health, and do they seek help?
Absolutely. I feel like we are. Just, being African American.
Right.
We go through things that someone who is Caucasian would not go through. We're experiencing so many things. Even in college, I learned about something called post-traumatic slave syndrome.
Okay.
So,
right.
And it shows up in our generation. No, our generation wasn't slaves. My mom wasn't slaves, but my mom did come up in the Jim Crow era, and it's like I still have the effects. Like it's something as simple as seeing the police.
Yep.
I have never had a traumatic experience with the police. However, I know what Black people go through with police. I've seen movies. I know what
it's always in our face too.
Yes, I know historically. So like even something as small as driving past the police or seeing someone lights flash, it's like ugh.
Me too. My heart started beating fast. Yeah, my heart started beating fast.
But do you think about like if someone who is Caucasian or Asian or something like that, do they experience the same thing?
I don't think so.
I mean, their upbringing may not have been the same, So I feel like African Americans, one, we don't take advantage of therapy. We feel like, or at one point in time, because times are changing, we feel like that was for something for white people. Therapy is not a white people thing.
Right, a lot of us
thought it's not something that is court mandated. Like if you go to court for something, you're prescribed with anger management or something like that. But like therapy is maintenance. Just like we get our hair done, our nails done, we go to church or we hang out with friends. It's maintenance to keep you balanced. Like that's the important of it. And it's time out for us to like stop sweeping stuff up under the rug, especially like family stuff. We knew when did nobody leave your children around, Uncle Billy. We knew it was a problem then,
Right.
And we don't talk about that stuff because it's hard to hear.
Right.
And in Black families, we avoid challenging conversations. We don't talk about money. We don't talk about mental health, and we don't talk about biological health. You didn't know your uncle died. He been had cancer, but we didn't know about it.
That's true. No, that's true. No,
we don't talk about money because we don't want to know who's on the wheel or if there is insurance policies. Like all that stuff.
Let's talk about it. It divides the whole family.
Yes.
But also, like I think, with my family, like they were like big on family, but they just never taught. Well, with me because I wasn't raised with my mom and dad, but they never taught me about like life, like going out and get good credit, like driving, like learning how to drive. I was never taught about any of that. It was always about just get good grades and go to college. That's the only thing I've heard. And I feel like going out and learning it myself, it was a little bit more harder because it's just like I was just like unknown about it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm glad you said that because in therapy I talk a lot about daddy issues, mama issues, because men have that and women have that as well. But the thing that my clients, it's like a revelation when they hear it. Our parents are human. We feel like our parents are like superheroes.
Yeah, we do.
You question like, why didn't my mama know? Like, how was she
know?
Oh, right, That is true though.
Like we hold things against our parents, but they didn't know. Like our you parent how you were parented.
This generation occurs.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
My mom, I didn't get what people like. You had the sex talk. I didn't get the sex talk. My mom just said, "Don't get knocked up." I didn't understand, the concept of getting knocked up. Because we weren't just talking about sex, and she was a single parent, so her main focus was making ends meet, paying bills.
That's how
the basics. But that's the difference between our generation. We care about, or we have time and the opportunity to care and focus on more because our parents wasn't able to care about the emotional need because of what was going on in society. Like they had to pay bills and do this. But now,
especially a lot for the single parent, because I grew up single parent.
Me too.
It was always like, okay,
bills.
My baby needs, they gotta get her taken care of, gotta pay bills, and that's it. And of course, I love her, but that's it.
Yeah, but for you as a child, hey mom, I want you to come to my violin recital.
That's how I was.
You kept me in activities, but you was in work to pay for the activities, but you was never there. But and it's like you just see it differently. But like once we realize like our parents are people, it's like okay.
No, and I had to come to terms with that with my mom and my dad too. So, yeah, because of generational curse, I had to understand my mom couldn't be a mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of my grandma. So I was like, I can't really be mad because it just wasn't her life. Like, it just wasn't her life, like, to give that to anyone. So now we have a good relationship because I had to, like, that's why I'm just so glad I've grown into this person now because I'm like, I had to teach myself that. You know, nobody taught me, like, your mom, you know, didn't raise it. I had to be like, you know what? My mom didn't get this, so how could she have, you know, been a mom to me? You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't happen for her. So you know what I'm saying? So I think some people just have to like get to that point, but it takes a long time though.
And it depends on the dynamics of the household. Like my mom, when she had her first child, she was 16, 15. So with her raising my sister, it was really like her mom was raising. So like they grew up as like sister dynamics, you know. So like everyone's situation is different.
For sure.
But that's why it's so important to like be able to empathize with what's going on. Not that we're taking away from the, you know, the stuff that happened, because somebody got to be accountable for it.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not gonna make an excuse for it, but to still be understanding of it to help with the healing process is important.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I can say for someone who doesn't really know what mental health is or a mental illness is, and they actually do have it, how can they recognize those signs?
It'll show up. It'll show up at the red light. Like somebody cutting you off and you get so
upset, angry.
Yes, like you're cussing, it turns your whole day apart. Like being able to manage or cope with something so small. It could be seen in relationships, like inability to trust people. Once again, to be
we deal with a lot of relationship
issues. I deal with a lot of relationship issues as well. So
it can even show up at work, like unable to accept a directive from a supervisor. Like people don't like taking like stuff from people. Like, oh, this is what you want me to do. Like I'm gonna automatically be defensive. Like it can show up anywhere.
And like basically I've always told people, like, because I'm not a therapist as well, but it's just like I try to tell people everything stems from like how you were raised. So like with everything that I've been through, like the stuff I've been through as far as like relationships, as far as like friendships and everything, it all stem from how I was raised. And sometimes I try to break those generational curses, which I have, but it's definitely hard when you're doing it by yourself and you don't seek help. You know what I'm saying? So like these generational curses I've like just broken for myself. But it is hard afterwards that you did break the generational curse because you still gonna deal with it inside because you just stopped it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I stopped it, but I didn't talk to anyone about it. I still feel away.
Too, what I found myself doing is that I may be good for like years, like 2 years, 3 years, 5 years past, and then I have a conversation with somebody about like my life, and everything comes back, like all the depression, the anxiety comes back. I'm like, I thought I was healed, but I was never healed. I was never healed, and so it's hard trying to find a balance of where a realization where can you actually be healed, or how can you feel healed, knowing that you had all this stuff happening in your childhood, then something happens and it's a trigger point, and you think you're okay, but you're like, dang, I wake up this morning, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
That's how I am,
Like it's hard sometimes.
But trauma is like a scar. Like when something happens to you, you fall off your bike skinny, you can put Neosporin on it.
It's still gonna be there.
But it's still gonna be there. So like you have to, it's gonna sound so cliche, but you have to feel your feelings, because if you don't process through that stuff, like when you do have a traumatic moment, it's gonna be heavy.
Right.
Like, because you have to learn how to deal with it to where you're like desensitized from some things, which is what we talk about when we're doing trauma therapy, because sometimes one thought can derail your whole day.
Exactly.
For sure.
Like if you
I've
see someone
definitely experienced that.
like it'll throw off your whole day,
Right.
Then you'll be
A
at work.
conversation.
You be at work anxious and angry for no reason.
Then that's how I do.
Hey,
Yep.
what's wrong with you?
Yep. Yeah, something can definitely like trigger you. Yep. So I'm glad that we know about that. So
Right, yeah.
that's good information for me because like it definitely stems from that too. So it's good to hear other people say it than just myself. Because I be self therapy myself, and I be feeling like I'm wrong
I
sometimes.
need you to talk. Go. You do it.
No, I am. I'm literally about to like go and seek therapy like in person now.
Yeah.
I have to.
I think we all need therapy.
I've never sat and talked to a therapist ever in life.
Besides that one time.
Over the phone. Yeah.
Over the phone.
For like 3 times, but it wasn't like
Yeah.
I didn't look them in the eye and like have a conversation. So I don't count it.
Yeah, I was gonna encounter talking to a therapist, but my grandfather passed, and I was like having a hard time, really depressed, didn't want to do anything. I was out for work for like 2 weeks because I just could not work.
Yeah.
My mental state was just all the way gone. So I'm like, I need to talk to a therapist, I need to talk to somebody. And so I was like this close to talking to somebody. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to.
Yeah, that's how I am.
I was like, I want to because I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm sad inside. I was like, I don't know. And then it was new for me because it was going to be over the phone. But I'm like, I really want to sit and talk to somebody face to face, not over the phone, because I feel like I can't really have a connection with you over the phone.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. When you FaceTime your friends, you have that same connection, right?
Right. But that's also because I know that person. We already have a connection together. So it's like, I can talk. But then again, I don't even talk to my friends like that. We talk, but as far as like issues, it's like I'll say the bare minimum, but like only a few people know like my real issues.
Yeah. I would say try it, because I know when we say virtual sounds like it's not intimate, but it completely can be, because most of my clients are virtual. And it's like once they see my face, they're like, oh, they get some comfort like the first time.
Yeah.
Especially when I have someone who can relate to me, which is often like Black women or Black young men. It's like, okay. And then I'm just being my authentic self. Like, I'm not gonna everything I say isn't gonna sound like clinical or booky.
And then also helps you have like a soothing voice. Because like your voice is already soothing.
You got a good spirit about yourself, so
like, okay, I'm relaxed. I can talk to her.
Yeah, you can feel comfortable.
So it makes you feel more comfortable,
Yeah.
right? It makes you feel comfortable.
Once again, you're not going straight into it. When I see someone, hey, tell me about your week, and then it goes from there. Like my therapeutic style is very go with the flow, but structured at the same time. I give homework. Like, ain't no way you finna come to my sessions and
leave and
we not work on something in between. Like, it just don't work. So I would say give it a chance. Just one chance.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
But like, go on Psychologist Day and like find your person first.
Okay,
like,
gotcha. I am. Okay.
You can pick. You have to pick the Caucasian lady if you don't want to.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. So like, I know like now you saying this, I feel like I'm definitely gonna like take another chance at it, because it was very good me talking to her.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, it was good. I just didn't get the connection, but I definitely feel like I could have still tried and got another one. Yeah. But I didn't do that. So
don't get discouraged when it first don't work.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like that barber, you got to get a haircut.
Yeah, you're right. You're right for
sure.
I
got my hair short. I'm looking for the best barber. I don't like you, I'm going to the next one. I don't like you, go to the next one. So I find that best one.
That's a good analogy. So you're right.
Go to who you like. So what would be other resources besides therapy that people can go to, like maybe meditation or maybe art practices? What are other resources that they can
remember when I told y'all, like in that first session, I'm asking people what they like to do? Like, that is key. Like, therapy is not a one-all be-all. So if you got a hobby, do what that hobby is. Right. Like, if you like to read, join a book club. And like, support systems are so like needed. Like, you have to have a support system just for someone else to be like, to be your accountability partner, as well as just to have fun with. Like, it's important to have fun. Right. If you do nothing but go to work, come home.
Routine.
Yeah.
Get bored.
That's depressing.
That's depressing.
Like,
that's
that alone
depressing.
is depressing.
Yeah.
And like people, even like my clients who don't have a lot of friends and they just like be in their small groups, like I encourage them to join some sort of community group. Like do what you like to do. If you like to work out by yourself, get a gym membership. Or if you like to knit, join a knit competition. Like, dude, it's always something. Like, I'll literally be in session, we're talking, I'm like, okay, you need help with this. I minimize them on the camera. I'm Googling, I'm on Eventbrite. Okay, hey, this is what you can do. These are your
like that, okay.
Like, because we always have options. And I think that's something we forget. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Oh, I just gotta go home and go right.
No, it's like stuff out there. Yeah. And that's why I'm glad that because I recently just got baptized. They have life groups. So now like we're doing something Saturday. So we're like getting back to the home. So there's something good that can make me feel good because you get to see that your life is not just that bad as you make it.
It's something who have it worse than you. You just have to be remembered to be blessed with what we have.
Yeah. And when we think about what makes us happy, it could be something small. For me,
it's food.
Me too. Like I enjoy grocery shopping.
I ain't gonna lie, I do too.
I really enjoy grocery shopping.
It feels good walking around. Like it does. I feel what you're saying. Like it definitely feels good just going out, putting your clothes on.
This new organic stuff. I ain't gonna buy it because it's not in my budget. But you have to find what you like to do and use it to your advantage. Like it's not gonna be a one-off.
Yeah, what makes me comfort or feel like I have comfort is poetry. I write poetry.
Do you?
I do.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I love it. I love it. But I've been writing poetry probably about, maybe since I was like 8 years old. I've been off and on, but I just started.
I just learned it right now.
But yeah, I love poetry. Poetry just makes me feel comfortable. It makes me feel all the emotions that I have put on paper. They're just out.
That's therapy.
It's therapy. Yeah.
Girl, that's what we call narrative therapy.
Yes, ma'am.
Look at you.
Yeah.
And I think my outlet is like music. I just love music. I love music that can like, pour into me. And I listen to like a lot of artists, like far as like, I listen to Aaliyah, so I'm a big Aaliyah fan, of course. Then I'm a big Rod Wave fan. He's a rapper, but I love Rod Wave because he's rapping, but he's rapping about like stuff he's been through, like literally stuff that black men don't talk about. But he put it in a rap, and I be feeling like, I'm like, okay, like this rapper is like literally like rapping about not drugs, money, sex, none of that. He's talking about like when lights was off, back in the day and everything. Now like I'm trying to do this, and like also like he also talk about mental health in his songs as well. So I'm like stuff like that, like music like that. It definitely like makes me like it kind of pushes me. So like music is like my outlet. Music
can definitely be healing through any time.
As long as it's appropriate.
It's appropriate.
Right.
As long as it's appropriate.
I seen a meme, don't drink and drive. I'm telling you, if you drink and drive and you like emotionally vulnerable, then you be in a sticky situation. So.
And that's why I choose to listen to certain type of music.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
I used to listen to like a lot of rap music and a lot of just music that really wasn't good to the ears. Like everything I listen to now is like positive. Even gospel. I listen to gospel even more now. So I know everything that I'm having coming into my ear or into my circle, into my like whole energy. Yeah, it's all positive.
Well, I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't listen to that many artists anymore, but just because of like I feel like it wasn't speaking to my soul. So that's why I say I listen to Janae, Aaliyah, and Rod Wave. And this other guy named, his name is Moray. He's a upcoming artist. And maybe like Summer Walker and like little things like that. Yeah. But like, I just don't listen. Like I listen to the Drake album, but it's like maybe like once a week. Yeah. But it's just nothing like, the music just don't, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or I'm getting wiser, but it's just like some of this stuff just don't do nothing for me no more. It just don't do nothing for me.
A Wale, a J. Cole,
yeah, that's me.
And like, I even like trap gospel. Jonathan Traylor, like I love his music and like just people who are like inspirational.
Yeah, me too. Inspiration.
Right. Jonathan Traylor, and it's another Jonathan McReynolds. He's a good singer. Gospel.
And I listen to some gospel as well. I listen like Oceans. Oceans where my feet may fall. Have you ever listened to that? Yeah, I love that song. Like I love music who just they can just like make you feel better, basically.
Yeah, but especially when you wake up in the morning and play some good positive music. You
That's
have a
what I
whole
do.
day.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to set the mood.
You gotta
right?
set the mood for your day. Yeah, you gotta set the mood.
If not, you'll be like at work
Be
blah,
sluggish, like
at the red light blah, at home blah, and it just takes away, from you.
Yeah.
Just by what we do in the morning.
But we are so excited. Thank you, Ashley, for being here. We are so excited to have you here. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, we definitely thank you for Ashley for being here and talking about mental health because it's not talked about in the Black community. And to have a Black woman therapist to explain this to our platform and to our viewers, it's a really wonderful thing to have like on today. So we definitely appreciate you and making sure you're telling everyone about Mental Health Day on today. So yeah, thank you so much for coming. She has such a good spirit.
Thank you. See you later.
So if anyone who is experiencing any type of mental health or need to talk to anyone, please click below in our YouTube channel for more resources on dealing with mental health. Thank you so much.